So what we would like to do tonight is go with you through a case at the end of the day, a case in the food sector. But basically, the whole ideas and the whole theoretical framework for this, you can apply to any company. So it's not only research we have been doing in the food industry. Actually, we did the initial research with what we call high-performing crisis teams. So we were looking at crisis teams within the federal government, the Federal Crisis Center in Belgium. We looked at a police team, how the police teams are intervening in a crisis situation. We looked at in the medical field, so basically we looked at any field except the food industry. But this is a very nice example because it's food, we all deal with food and we all like to eat and drink, and it's in a hotel sector, so you will recognize a couple of things. So this is an introduction. So therefore analyzing crisis response in general, and then between brackets in the food sector, because that's secondary to the title. If I'm going too fast, if I'm using weird words, please interrupt me.
You want me to translate?
Yeah. So it's.
I will interrupt them.
Yeah. I hope you will interrupt. But please interrupt me. It's in a very informal setting tonight, and the advantage is that we have a very close interaction during this session. Basically, what I want to do is to guide you through a new way of thinking. So it's not about a big theory. It's not about. There is a lot of research behind this. It's research I've been doing with Mike Lauder. He's also a member of the CIP Institute. He's from the UK. I did it with Timothy Summers. He's from the US. So we are a bunch of researchers, but also practitioners. So we don't see ourselves as academics in a sense of that we only have this academic knowledge. We see ourselves as active practitioner researchers. So every research we do, we think it has to be foremost practical. It needs to have utility, practical utility. Otherwise, we are looking at very small details, and sometimes there is an expression in English saying that quite a lot of researchers, they are looking at dancing fairies on the head of a pin. So meaning that it is a very small thing they are observing and they're so excited about it, but is it applicable? We don't know. So this is the opposite. We try to make it applicable. So the key question we start with is, can you really manage a crisis? Can you do that? And the whole research where we came from is that being a practitioner, helping organizations in crisis management and risk management, we always saw that after a crisis, they start to learn. So something is happening in your organization, it's going awfully wrong. So after the event, after the crisis, the negative event, then they sit together, they analyze, and then they start to learn. So what went wrong, and how can we avoid this in the future? And what you typically see is, in the future, they will make the same mistakes. So what did we learn from crisis situations? And therefore we were asking ourselves, do they learn anything? Can you learn anything? Can you manage a crisis? So and that's basically the question that is leading through this presentation.